Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Spoilers, Results, and Recap with your friend and host, the one and only Pop Culture Junkie, aka the Pro Wrestling Junkie, and we are coming off the very final minutes of Wrestlemania 35. It just went off the air. I am stunned and shocked at how much we actually got as far as payoff for a Wrestlemania. I can't recall the last time we had a Wrestlemania that actually gave us conclusions and payoffs on matches and storylines that we wanted and we wanted to see and that we've been deserving. How many times do you watch a show or watch a pay-per-view after a month or 2 months of build-up and then you're like, wait, did they settle the feud? Are we still going on, or is there something else happening? And of course they lead to another this or another match or another feud, whatever. We got a lot of payoff tonight. It's unbelievable. I don't know what happened. The authority in us made it happen though, right? Because we are the authority now. So it's been a crazy night. I've had a lot of surprises, and I am just still a little shocked that they gave us so many payoffs. That's the best way to put it. Let's go over the card. We have a long card to go over. I'm going to go through it as quickly as I possibly can. Lots to share with you, lots to talk about. But again, don't want to make this too long, but I want to share with you all the excitement, all the moments that happened. We've got 16 matches to cover from beginning to end, including the 2-hour-long kickoff show, then the actual pay-per-view itself. 7.5 hours this entire show went. It's been a long night, so let me get to this video, and that way you guys can check out what happened, and hopefully, if you weren't able to see the show, now you'll be up to date on what's happening in the WWE world. So let's go ahead, go to the WrestleMania kickoff. We start off with the panel of Coach, Paige, JBL, and Sam Roberts. Of course, they're sitting at the very, very top of the arena, which is awesome. I like the point of view they had. You could basically turn around in their seats and overlook the entire arena. I think that's an awesome spot to have the panels. I wish they would do that with the regular panels at the regular pay-per-views, even though they don't usually do open top, arenas or stadiums for every show. But I think it's something they should consider instead of just having the floor level panel that they normally do. I'm done with that. It's kind of boring now. So I'd like to see something else just like what we got tonight. So maybe they'll change that sometime. We'll see. So, of course, the whole point of the kickoff show is just to go over predictions and share their thoughts on who's going to win what matches and, who do they think is going to win whatever. So that's the whole point of the panel, of course, as always. Let's get to the first matchup, though. First matchup is the WWE Cruiserweight title match. Buddy Murphy, the champion, versus Tony Nese. Buddy Murphy hits Murphy's Law, but Nese is able to get his foot on the rope. Nese then hits a German suplex into the turnbuckle, followed by a running knee for the pin and the win. And we have a new Cruiserweight champion, Tony Nese. Not bad, and a great start. We go to the top of the stage, and Charlie Caruso is interviewing two of the guys from Impractical Jokers, Brian Quinn and Sol Vacano, just sharing their thoughts on everything that's going to be happening tonight on WrestleMania. We go back to the panel, and we have Coach, Sam Roberts, JBL, Paige, and Jerry Lawler to share their thoughts on upcoming matches. We go back down to the ring, and we have Lillian Garcia, which was a nice surprise. She's announcing the second match of the night, Women's Battle Royal. This is the second annual Women's Battle Royal. Of course, Naomi won last year. And let me read off all the participants in this Battle Royal. We have Carmella, Asuka, Naomi, Ember Moon, Lana, Ruby Riott, Dana Brooke, Zelina Vega, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Mickie James, Sonya Deville, Candice LeRae, Mandy Rose, Maria Kanellis, Nikki Cross, and Kairi Sane. And that's it. We've got 17 women participating in this Battle Royal. We only had 2 people from NXT, Candice LeRae and Kairi Sane. I don't know why they didn't pull more and fill it up to at least 20, minimum, and then maybe 25 or 30, whatever. But I think last year they had 30, I believe. I don't know why they couldn't do that. The men's Battle Royal had a lot more participants, so not sure why we only had 17. Lacey Evans was not in the Rumble, or in the Battle Royal, and I expected her to make her actual in-ring debut here finally, and that was going to be, her victory, I thought. But anyways, this match was not good, in my opinion. Not good because I didn't like the winner, but also not good because it just seemed like, for the most part, all the women were wrestling against the back part of the ring. Like, if I'm sitting on the hard camera side, they were across the ring against the back ropes the entire time, majority of the women in the match. You would have 1 or 2 in the corners of opposite corners, but most of them were just laid up on the very back of the ring, almost like they were all watching and waiting for their turn to do something, and you could tell the momentum kept stopping very quickly. And a lot of times it just seemed like they didn't know what to do next. They didn't know what was going to happen, if they were supposed to do something else. It just was, yeah, it was very confusing. I didn't understand it. So let's get down to the final four. We had Asuka, Sonya Deville, and Sarah Logan, and one other person, which, yes, I said four. We'll get to that. So Asuka eliminates Sonya Deville, Logan eliminates Asuka, and then Logan begins to celebrate, thinking she won. But then we see Carmella come back in because she went under the ropes and never was eliminated. She comes in and eliminates Sarah Logan, and Carmella is the winner of the second annual Women's Battle Royal. Very strange. Again, poor Asuka. She has to lose her title just a couple weeks ago in a surprise matchup, and then she doesn't get the Battle Royal at least as a consolation prize. It was just very frustrating. I can't believe what they've done with her character. It's horrible. We go into the third match. We have the Raw Tag Team Title match, Revival versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Now, this match was just announced recently on social media, I believe on Friday. Had no build at all, nothing on Raw or anything at all leading up to the show. It was just I guess another match to get get everyone on the card, and I'm really against that type of booking. I wish they would move away from that. So Kurt Hawkins, of course, has been on a very long losing streak, lost over 200 plus matches. Zack Ryder, I mean, he won the Intercontinental title at last year's WrestleMania, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Exactly. See, it's so long since you've seen Zack Ryder, except for like maybe on Main Event. That's about it. But surprise, surprise, Hawkins gets Scott Dawson in a small package and gets a 3 count, and Hawkins and Ryder are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Crazy, right? All right, we go on to our fourth match. Still on the kickoff show, we got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And just like the build-up was for the entire lead-up to this, both on Raw and SmackDown, I mean, really, the Battle Royal was made for two things. Braun Strowman and the two dudes from Saturday Night Live. There were other people in this Battle Royal, of course. You had about 25, I counted roughly, like the Hardys, the B-Team. You had Apollo Crews. You had other people. Surprise, surprise, we had Luke Harper return, and he was eliminated pretty, easily, actually. I didn't like that. EC3 was like one of the first people eliminated, so, okay, we're just not going to give him any kind of push. Bobby Roode also eliminated pretty quickly and easily. It's crazy what they've done with these guys that they could really make a lot of talent out of, but whatever. So we get down to the finals, and we have the Hardys, Braun Strowman, and both Saturday Night Live guys. The Hardys are on the outside of the apron trying to pull Braun out, and the Saturday Night Live guys get back in because they were hiding under the ring the entire time. They get back in to try to help eliminate Braun, but then the Hardys end up getting eliminated. Braun goes and turns around, goes after the Saturday Night Live guys. He slaps the black one. I don't know their names. He slaps the black one, and he goes out of the ring. He then goes after the white one, and that's when he gets on the mic and says, "Hey, I brought my therapist of some sort here." So basically, neither one of these guys wanted to take a real bump. So they brought this guy in. He pretends to do some kind of therapy thing. Braun ends up, choke slamming him and such, throws him out. The other guy gets eliminated finally, and Braun Strowman is your winner. So that's it. It was a mess. I did not care for this. Braun used to be such a great monster, and they've just really watered him down. It's terrible. All right, so we go on to the main show, and we kick things off with Yolanda Adams singing the national anthem. This was entertaining, of course. They had a nice long chorus across the entire stage, the entrance stage there. One thing real quick before we get to the rest of the show. The entrance stage, or the entire WrestleMania stage itself, talk about boring. It was just a giant flat screen. That was it. No other elements to it whatsoever. It was a giant flat screen. It looked like a, maybe, 100-foot wide, tall, that kind of thing. And that's it. It was just a giant LED board. And they had two areas where you could see a door open up that they'd walk through it to come out. Also, some wrestlers walked up a ramp on the side of the ramp and came up in the middle of the ramp. So they didn't actually walk from the very far back of the actual stage. They kind of just jumped up onto the middle part of the ramp and then walked to the ring. So, yeah. But the staging itself, very bland, very boring. And we're going to get some more things about that, too, in a minute. So after the national anthem, we get a very long music video opening. It seemed like kind of like the Best of Both Worlds music video thing again from, a year ago. Something similar to that. We had the wrestlers it seemed like they were kind of dancing and singing along to it. Didn't do it for me. Sorry. So we first have Alexa Bliss come out. She is, of course, the host of WrestleMania this year. She gets on the mic and says, "If I want a WrestleMania moment, all I have to do is snap my fingers." She snaps her fingers, and Real American hits, and out comes Hulk Hogan. Hogan cuts a nice promo, even pokes fun of himself from back whenever he was at the Superdome, and he called it the Silver Dome. He brought that joke up again. And he just gives the normal, what you gonna do when WrestleMania and Hulkamania run wild on you? Just then, Paul Heyman comes storming out. He walks right past everyone, goes to the ring, gets on the mic, and says, hey, if we're not going to be in the main event, if we're not going on last, then we're going to get our stuff out of the way soon. That way Brock can get on a plane and head to Vegas, where he will be ultimately appreciated. Haha. So we have our first official match on the main card, 5th match of the night. But this is the opening match of WrestleMania, the main match on the first match on the main show. And it is the Universal title. Brock Lesnar defending against Seth Rollins, the winner of the 2019 Royal Rumble. So Lesnar attacks Rollins right away. He beats him up, throws him over multiple announce tables, beats him up all outside the ring. They finally get in the ring 5 minutes or so later, and the bell rings. So Seth has been beat to hell right away. The match starts. Rollins hits 3 curb stomps, pins Lesnar, and gets the win, and is your new Universal Champion. It was like, what? What? Rollins wins? Amazing. We did not see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. Everyone expected Brock to retain and keep the belt until who knows when. So Rollins wins, gets up to the top ramp, swings the belt around, everything. He's, pyro goes off, place goes nuts. So amazing surprise for the start of the main show. So very good there. We go straight on to match number 6, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Jerry Lawler joined the commentary team for this one. We had a lot of that. We had a lot of guest commentators joining on the commentating tables. So AJ kicks out of a pin after an RKO from Orton. He hits 2 phenomenal forearms and gets the pin, and AJ wins. I was surprised by this. Orton laid down clean for AJ Styles. I was not expecting that at all. So great to see that. AJ Styles deserved the win. Right after this, we have Lacey Evans walking out. She walks out on the stage, doesn't go down the ramp, just walks out on the stage, does her little catwalk right there, and then walks to the back, and that's the last we see of her. That's the only time we see Lacey Evans tonight at WrestleMania. All right, we go on to match 7. SmackDown Tag Team Title Fatal 4-Way match. The Usos are the champions. They are defending against the Bar of Cesaro and Sheamus versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Rusev and Nakamura. Usos hit a double splash on Sheamus, and they get the win, and they retain the titles. I was surprised by that. I really was hoping for Shinsuke and Rusev to get the win here because they need it. They need something, okay? They were 2 of your best heels a year ago, and Rusev was like the most over guy last year, and I can't believe the position he's put in right now. Unbelievable. All right, from there, we get the announcement of the class of 2019 Hall of Famers. They all come out to wave to the crowd. We have Natty and Brett. We have Harlem Heat, Bruce the Bar Beefcake, Honky Tonk Man, and so forth. Next up, our match is the Falls Count Anywhere match. Shane McMahon versus The Miz. Miz's father is at ringside, of course. Shane sets up to do an elbow drop to the Miz, who's laid out on the announce table, and Shane's on the top rope. The Miz's dad comes over and stands in front of his son and blocks Shane from doing so. Shane then calls for his Miz's dad to come into the ring, and they square off. Shane tries to tell or teach Miz's dad how to hold his fist up properly. They brawl all through the arena now, okay? They brawl all the way through the crowd into the back area where there's a scaffolding area and production stuff. At one point, Miz and Shane, they're up on one level above floor level next to a guardrail, and Miz hits Shane with a monitor, and Shane sells it so well. He just flies backwards over the rail, lands back first on the ceiling of a golf cart, and he bounces off that and lands on the concrete floor. Later on, they get over to a scaffolding area. They climb up to the top. Miz is up there. Shane is up there first. Miz follows him, and they go over to the side. Miz super suplexes Shane off of the top of the scaffolding through some kind of padding. But when they landed, Shane landed on top. They're both on their back, but Shane's shoulders are on top of Miz. So the referee counts, and Shane is your winner. He gets the win just because of how they landed. That was a great way to end this. I did not want to see a clean, straight-up Miz lose or whatever. This was a great way to end that matchup. I was happy with that. We then get Paige coming out to join the commentary team for the following matchup. The match is the Women's Tag Team Title Fatal 4-Way match. Sasha and Bayley versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Iconics versus Natalya and Beth Phoenix. And Bret Hart came out with Natty and Beth Phoenix. That was nice. Now, this match as well came off as kind of a mess, okay? It just seemed like they didn't get their rhythm at all. They didn't have a lot of momentum at times. And it seemed like they kind of everyone kind of got lost. Too many people in the ring at once to try to do this. You had a lot of double team moves, of course. Natty puts both Sasha and Bayley in the sharpshooter at one point, but to me the match overall was just a mess. Finally, Beth Phoenix hits a glam slam on Bayley from the top rope, goes for the pinfall, but the Iconics both run in. They throw Beth Phoenix out and pin Bayley, and they win the titles. The Iconics are the new women's tag team champions. Interesting. I did not see that coming. We go to the next matchup. We have the WWE title match. Daniel Bryan defending against Kofi Kingston, along with New Day, who are at ringside. Big E gets a mystery box from the timekeeper's area and tells Kofi, hey, this is for later. And it just made me wonder right away then, okay, is that something that's going to lead to New Day, actually turning on Kofi? They're going to cost him the title. That was my prediction, that we're going to see something like that. This match was amazing, and I was really, really expecting nothing less, because Kofi and Daniel Bryan are two of my favorite wrestlers, and they can definitely put on an incredible matchup. And they brought all the emotion out of everybody in that arena. Back and forth moments. You did not know what was going to happen. You did not know who was going to win. There was no moment in this match where I was like, okay, any minute now, Daniel's going to get the pin and it's over. Or, okay, any minute now, Kofi's going to get the pin, he'll win the belt, whatever. No, it was back and forth the entire time. After the New Day helped take out Eric Rowan, that left Kofi and Daniel one-on-one. In the end, Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise, pins Daniel Bryan 1, 2, 3. Kofi Kingston is the new WWE champion. Kofi Kingston has become the first ever black WWE champion in history. Amazing. It's monumental. It's amazing. They brought up this earlier in the day whenever they were interviewing JBL, and he was sharing about Ron Simmons, his longtime friend and tag partner, about how he was the first ever black WCW champion. And we finally have that in WWE. Okay, it's long overdue. I wish Kofi Kingston had had this opportunity 10 years ago before he got buried by Orton and, pushed aside. I really thought Kingston had a lot of momentum back then to make this happen. I'm very happy for him. Very happy he's the champion. I'm curious to see where they go from here, because all I can do is expect a turn from New Day. I don't see them doing any other kind of feud. I don't know who's going to challenge him next. Except for that, but I hope to be surprised. Hopefully we see some kind of real monster heel come at Kofi, and Kofi has to be the underdog again. But again, I love the match. It was amazing. Great moment. The crowd went nuts. Afterwards, they show the actual WWE title belt instead of the Daniel Bryan recycled title. And so Kofi actually has the regular black leather championship belt to hold up as his championship belt. And then the items that were in the box that Big E had were t-shirts that already say, New Day champion, Kofi Kingston new champion. Funny thing is, WWE already put those up on their website prior to the match even. So if you went to the WWEshop.com, you would have already known the spoiler of the match. So bad planning, bad timing on their part for that. We go backstage and we see Alexa Bliss checking on the condition of the Saturday Night Live guys following the Battle Royal earlier. And Hall of Famers Kevin Nash and Scott Hall show up dressed up as doctors, suggesting they're going to be giving them some kind of checkups. All right, we then have Booker T coming out to join the commentary table for the next matchup. The match is the U.S. title match. Samoa Joe defending against Rey Mysterio, who is going to wrestle. We thought he wasn't going to be able to do it. Thought maybe he was going to be injured. He comes dressed out as Mysterio from the new, of course, Mysterio is going to be in the new Spider-Man Far From Home film, and outfit looked really awesome. But this matchup was very quick. Joe applies the Coquina Clutch, Rey Mysterio passes out, and Joe retains the title. And I think that's perfect. Joe is a monster. He's a killer. He needs to come in and just demolish his opponent quickly. Make him somebody that opponents should actually fear fighting, and they won't last long. That's what you need out of Joe. He's a monster. All right, next match, Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre gets an awesome entrance here. He's got bagpipers and drummers all up and down the stage. Roman comes out, punches the floor right in front of the stage, and pyro shoots off like crazy. Honestly, it's the most pyro they used in the last 2 years, it seemed like. So how does this match go? Spear, pin, repeat. That's it. That's it. Okay. Roman hits the spear, pins, 1, 2, 3. That's it. It was not anything wow or impressive. I didn't expect him to have Roman lose his first match, or his first big match since coming back from the illness. I would have been impressed if they went that way, because Drew actually should be getting a push more so, but it is what it is. All right, we now go to our musical moments of the evening. We have Elias on the screen, and he's playing the drums and also the piano. They've got him cloned. And at the same time, we go to the ring, and Elias is sitting on a stool in the ring holding his guitar. And we get a brief performance of Elias basically playing with himself, because all three of them begin playing their instruments. Then Elias gives his normal speech to the crowd about silence your cell phones, hold your applause, shut your mouth, and he's going to sing a song. Well, just when he's about to begin singing, all of a sudden on the back LED screen above at the stage area, we get a black and white special bulletin news clip, and we see footage of when Babe Ruth, baseball legend Babe Ruth, called his shot during the World Series against was the Yankees against the Cubs, I believe. And you hear the commentators on the I think it was the original commentary from the ball game, but they were saying how, best of, or the best, the greatest of all time, the greatest of all time. And all of a sudden, Word Life hits, and out comes the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, baseball cap, chain around his neck, New York Yankees jersey, and he's got the Word Life brass knucks on his hands, comes out to the ring, cuts a really awesome promo just like he can do, cuts down Elias big time, and then for some reason he just attacks Elias. Elias didn't even go to try to hit him, it seemed like. Cena just punches him. He delivers a 5-knuckle shuffle, and then FU. He called it the FU, actually, on his promo instead of the AA, and then he leaves. That was it. All right, next up we go to the no-holds-barred match, Triple H versus Batista. HBK comes out to join the commentary for this one. So Batista comes out with 2 SUVs and a dozen or so more of security guys, obviously indie guys. I mean, hey, watch, if you have a chance to watch it, try to point out and see who from there later on joins WWE, just like CM Punk and other wrestlers that have played, like, characters on the stage for entrances. So Batista comes down the stage, he gets up to the steps, walks across the apron, goes to climb through the ropes, and trips on his way through the ropes, falling flat on his face, basically. He catches himself with his hands, but yeah, he trips on his way into the ring. He kind of laughed it off, though. You see him walk over to the corner. He's looking at the ref and just, like, chuckling, like, okay. And it's just like, man, Batista, you can't catch a break. He had issues with the last time he came back. He's got something here. And it's just, I'm glad he's able to just laugh it and shrug it off, not be like, oh, no. Just, he's like, it is what it is. Hey, I'm a millionaire. I'm in Marvel movies. Who cares, right? Exactly. So then we go back to the stage, and we see on the big screen a animated style of Mad Max Fury Road, what came out 2015, I think it did. And so yeah, we see a car chase through the desert just like Fury Road, and then suddenly here comes a Mad Max style car being driven through the LED screen, or through a doorway in there, and Triple H is just standing on the back of the car as somebody else is driving it down the ramp. And then once he gets down to the bottom of the ramp, his regular music hits and comes in, does his normal entrance. So, yeah, so we had a Mad Max theme for Triple H's entrance to add into all the other ones he's had before, like Conan and Terminator and so forth. Now, this match to me, okay, it's a no-holds-barred match, so they had to have that because obviously you're not going to get a 25-minute long Broadway match by these guys at this point. You needed to have the elements of weapons and such to make this match interesting, and to me it went way too long. It just dragged a lot of places. Batista has not wrestled in like 5 years, and so I don't expect him to be in tip-top conditioning when it comes to being able to go very long in a match. He's got the body because obviously he works out and he's in movies and he's got to have that physique, but conditioning to be able to do a match, even The Rock has shown once you leave that ring and you're out for a while, it takes a while for you to get that ring rust off and be able to, go 10, 20 minutes even in a match. To me, this match just went way too long, and I wish they had cut it down to like at least, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes, because it felt like it went at least 20. So during the matchup, Triple H, he quickly grabs a toolbox, he smacks Batista with it, he grabs a he grabs a wrench first, and clamps it onto Batista's fingers and tries to twist them. He gets a pair of pliers and pulls Batista's nose ring out of his nostril. Triple H does a back body drop to Batista onto one of the announce tables, and it does not break. Batista puts a steel step on the first announce table. There's 3 tables in a row. He puts the steel steps on top of the first table. He gets up on it, tries to do a powerbomb to Triple H, but Triple H backflips Batista onto the second table, and it does not break. Triple H then he does the DX chop, and Batista standing on the second table on the edge of it, right in front of the third table. Triple H runs at him, spears him through the third table, and that one finally breaks. It was a tough night for tables. Tables did not want to break tonight. So finally, we get back into the ring, and out comes Ric Flair, and he hands a sledgehammer to both Triple H and Batista. They both go to run at each other to hit each other with the sledgehammer, but one of the ring steps is in the ring, and Triple H springboards off of the steps, hitting Batista with the sledgehammer, connects with the pedigree, and gets the pin and wins. I gotta say, that's probably the first time anyone's ever used springboard and Triple H in the same sentence. Just doesn't happen, right? But Triple H wins. He celebrates with Ric Flair, and he is the winner. Are we going to see Batista ever again? I don't know. Probably next year for Hall of Fame, maybe. Okay, we go backstage, and we have Alexa Bliss talking to the B Team and Ron Simmons, and the B Team is modeling a Daniel Bryan, still the champion of the planet t-shirt, so you can buy on WWE.com. We go back to the ring area, and JBL is joining the commentary table for the next matchup. The next match is the farewell match, Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Yes, this match actually happened. We did not get any substitute for Baron Corbin. Kurt Angle's last match, as we know it, was against Baron Corbin. So Corbin hits the end of days, he pins Angle, and that's it. Kurt Angle lost. Baron Corbin won. Afterwards, Kurt Angle gets on the mic. He thanks the audience, thanks his fans, tells them, hey, we're going out in style. Hit my music and make sure you give me those 2 words. So, they can chant, you suck, etc. I was very disappointed with this because everyone was expecting, of course, like John Cena, maybe The Undertaker, etc. But no, we get Baron Corbin, and he gets to be supposedly the last opponent that Kurt Angle has in a WWE ring. Does not make sense to me. All right, we go to the next match. We have the Intercontinental title match. Bobby Lashley with Lio Rush defending against the Demon Finn Balor. Lashley comes out with green eye contacts, and he looks weird. He's not dressed any different. He's wearing his same ring attire, but he put green contacts in. Why? I don't know. Then we go to Finn Balor. He gets his demon entrance. He comes in on seemed like some kind of lift, similar to how Shawn Michaels was lowered down at WrestleMania 25 when he was coming down from the heavens. It seemed like they were using that same kind of lift to lower Finn Balor, and he's got his demon paint and the tethers or the streamers on his arms and such. Looks awesome. Lots of lighting and smoke and pyro effect. That looked really awesome. So great entrance. I was expecting nothing less, so that was really cool to see. Finn Balor comes out, gets to the ring, does his normal celebration. As he's doing the thing where where they do ha ha, and then the lights go up, they shot off pyro sometimes, so that was nice too. So Balor hits a power bomb on Bobby Lashley, followed by the coup de grace, pin, 1, 2, 3, new Intercontinental Champion, 2-time IC champ Finn Balor. Awesome. Thing I didn't like is how they almost try to make it to where we're dumb during commentary on this, where Corey Graves kept on saying, the Demon powerbombed Lashley. Finn Balor couldn't do that. The Demon had to. It's like, we know it's him. It's I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I need to just let it happen. But yeah, it just seemed like whatever. So next up we have Alexa Bliss coming out, and by the way, every time Alexa Bliss came out, it was almost like she was hosting the Oscars, because she would come out in different outfits every time we saw her, and I mean, every outfit looked hot and amazing, so no complaints here. But I thought that was a nice touch that she always had a different outfit every time you would see her. So she comes out to the stage, and she's out there to announce the record-breaking attendance, which is 82,265 people are in attendance. She then says, you know what? I think it's time for a break. No, I said a break. Hello, I said a break. And then here comes R-Truth's music hits. R-Truth and Carmella comes out, and they say, all right, everyone stand up, and let's have a 7-second dance break. And then they dance. Then we go to a commercial for Ms. New TV show, or the second season of the show. And then we get a animated promo package showing that Tampa Bay will be the host of WrestleMania 36. Looks like they had like a Pirates of the Caribbean look to it in the promo commercial they had. And so I'm wondering, are they going to do some kind of pirate theme, obviously? Are they going to have people dressed as pirates? Are they going to do something like that? But at the same time, it's like, do you really remember how pirates really are? Like, everyone thinks of Jack Sparrow and Pirates of the Caribbean, the Disney ride, and the, Treasure Island stuff. But do some research, people, and look what pirates were really all about, because it's not really something you want to glorify nowadays. All right, we are up to the final match of the night, the main event, the Raw Women's, SmackDown Women's Triple Threat match, winner take all. Winner gets both Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. Ronda, the Raw Women's Champion, Ronda versus the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte versus the man, Becky Lynch. We cut to a shot of Charlotte riding in a helicopter above the arena, and you can see the arena through the windows of the helicopter. The helicopter lands in the parking lot of the arena, and she gets out. They lay out a red carpet for her to stand on. She's wearing a spiked leather jacket. She takes the jacket off. She's still wearing the SmackDown title. And then somebody comes over to her and puts on a really nice purple-ish robe, normal, Charlotte-style robe. And then she begins to walk down the red carpet, and the camera pans and turns, and you see that she's walking to the arena. But she's like across the street, it looks like, or at least way deep in the parking lot that she's got to walk still. It's like, couldn't you have given her a golf cart ride or something like that? Or maybe Shane broke when he landed on it. I don't know. But it was just a funny thing. It was nice because it was a nice throwback, if you are not familiar with this. Back in 1985 at the Great American Bash, Ric Flair did the same thing. He landed in the arena of where they were having a match against Nikita Koloff, I believe. And he showed up in a helicopter. It was awesome. So nice to see, they kind of did the little symmetry there. And see Joan Jett and the Blackhearts on the stage, and they begin playing Ronda's music, and Ronda Rousey comes out. Ronda just looked like Ronda. She had black tights like she normally wears, and then they had some red scratches or marks on them. But that was about it. She didn't look like she had any special outfit at all for the matchup. And then next up we have Becky's music hits, and it's just got the man on the back of the stage, the LED screen. Becky comes out. She's wearing similar outfit that we've seen her in, with the black outfit with the yellow stripes on the sides. Her hair was like a lion's mane. It looked really awesome, actually. I liked it. But really, I was expecting a lot more for Becky Lynch, because Ronda gets her own theme music played by the band. Charlotte shows up in a helicopter, and then Becky just shows up, walks down the ramp. I mean, maybe keep it simple because she's the man, but I really was expecting something more elaborate. And that was the other thing that I wanted to bring up before we wrap this up. I was very disappointed in the lack of presentation when it came to people getting big entrances. Like, we've seen DX and Rusev show up on tanks. We've seen Shawn Michaels ascend from the ceiling on a zip line. We've seen all kinds of crazy entrances, elaborate entrances. Okay, John Cena had a race car drive through the glass of a stage, and then he just came out, of course. But what about the year when they had CM Punk part of the gangsters, before he was even part of WWE, and John Cena had the gangster entrance and shot a gun in the arena. He shot the Tommy gun, But I mean, they've done some of these really wild and awesome entrances, and I just didn't understand why they didn't have more of that involved. Like, Drew McIntyre had the drummers and the bagpipers, and then you had Ronda and then Charlotte. That's the only ones that stand out. And maybe that's enough. Maybe you don't want to do overkill, but I guess with 16 matches and having like over, I don't know, over 70, 80 people on the card, I expected a lot more, you know, big entrances and such, but it is what it is. Now, this match itself was good, very entertaining. I enjoyed it, and I did wonder at a lot of points who's winning, because I didn't know where they were going to go here, because they had given us so many payoffs all through the night. Everyone on social media, I kept looking at social media, and people were going, I really have no clue what they're going to do here, because they've given us all these other payoffs. Are they going to have Ronda win? Are they going to have Charlotte win? Is Becky going to win? Who's going to win? We don't know. But in the end, what happens? Ronda goes for Piper's Pit, but Becky rolls backwards into a crucifix and gets the pin on Ronda. Ronda was pinned 1, 2, 3, and Becky Lynch is both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. That's right. Becky Lynch has won both titles, and she pinned Ronda, and Rousey has finally suffered her first defeat since coming to WWE. So, very good match. Very strange ending, though. I wasn't happy with it because it just came out of nowhere, but not in the fun way. It was, like, totally anticlimactic. Everyone was expecting, obviously, Becky to put Ronda in the submission, but I didn't think that Ronda was going to submit, and I was happy to see a pinfall. But either way, I just did not see how this was how they wrapped it up. Maybe they were cutting it close on time, because it seemed like as soon as she pinned her, the camera shot goes to the outside of the arena, show fireworks popping. You go back to the arena right away. She's already got the belts handed her, or they're already just laying on her. She's got the belts on the floor, on the mat. She gets up, she holds her belts up. You see more pyro shoot off. They go back to Becky one more time, holding the titles up, and then they go off the air. So maybe they were cutting it close, and they were like, oh, crap, we got to wrap this up. But who knows? Either way, they paid off everything. Kofi won. Seth won. Becky won. So many things were paid off. It was amazing. This was a really entertaining WrestleMania. Will it go down in history as the greatest of all time? In my book, no. It was good. It wasn't the best, but it was good. And I went away actually feeling like I did not waste 7.5 hours of my life for this show. I have had many WrestleManias in my lifetime that I have regretted sitting through the entire show afterwards because they didn't pay things off, or they didn't give us the right conclusions that we deserved or that should have happened, okay? And yes, things can happen good and bad during wrestling, and that's the whole point of it, but let's be honest, they've made a lot of mistakes in the last several years. So let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of WrestleMania? Did you watch the show? Do you think it was good? Do you think they're on a good track? Are we going to get some amazing surprises tomorrow now? Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Because remember, tomorrow's Monday Night Raw, the following Monday after WrestleMania, according to the commentary team. It's the one night of the year where the fans cheer for who they normally boo and boo who they normally cheer. Whatever. I can't wait for Raw. I always love the Raw after Mania. I've loved Raw after Mania ever since the Raw after WrestleMania 14 when Stone Cold won the title. Ever since then, I've always looked forward to the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania because you just never know what's going to happen, especially with the audience. I love the audience that is always there. It's amazing. So I can't wait for that. Well, everyone, I have had a very long night. I've got to get up early for school, and it's going to be a long day with a little bit of sleep. So hopefully everyone enjoyed this video. I thank you so much for tuning in and checking it out. Please make sure you do hit me up with a thumbs up. Make sure you leave me some comments. Share the video if you want to as well. I appreciate that. Remember, you can check me out on social media. All my links are in the description of every video. Guys and gals, have a great night, great week. I'll see y'all later. This is PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie, and I'm signing out.